Hi, I'm Jonathan Holmes. I'm chair of ABC Alumni, a group of former staff who want the ABC to thrive and prosper. The Institute of Public Affairs, the IPA, has a different plan. They want to privatise your ABC, or abolish it completely. The ABC, of course, is paid for by you, the taxpayer. The IPA is paid for by... Shh, they're not telling. Anyway, now they've launched a podcast series to boost their campaign. The basic proposition, the ABC...
It has become a bloated, out-of-touch, biased broadcaster with immense cultural power.
Out of touch? ABC News is Australia's #1 digital news brand. It's #1 news brand on Apple News. It's #1 news brand on Instagram. Biased? Most Australians don't think so. According to Roy Morgan, the ABC is the most trusted media brand in Australia. Canberra University's News and Media Research Centre found the same. That survey used a panel of 2,000 Australians. So, what's the IPA's evidence? An online poll of a measly 500 people commissioned by the Liberal Party's Menzies Research Centre. And here is the question.
Do you think the ABC is more left-wing or right-wing?
The result?
Overwhelmingly, people recognise that the ABC is not abiding by its charter obligations to be fair and neutral.
Huh? But no one was asked if the ABC is fair and neutral. There were only two options, and according to the IPA, more left-wing is biased and more right-wing is unbiased. It's a ludicrous piece of research. And then the IPA goes on to an even older, shonkier poll.
Polling commissioned by the Institute of Public Affairs in February 2020 asked, "The ABC does not represent the views of ordinary Australians."
Asked.
Asked.
The IPA didn't ask anything. It made a statement inviting agreement. That's called push polling, and it's worthless. But who needs evidence when you've got opinions like this?
Of course it's biased against Conservatives. That's in their DNA, that's in their bloodline.
That's Rowan Dean of Sky News and The Australian Spectator. He's the bloke who's been raving on for years about
the biggest hoax of them all, which is, of course, climate change.
He's joined on the IPA podcast by Chris Mitchell, columnist and former editor-in-chief of The Australian. Maurice Newman and Janet Albrechtson, columnists at The Australian. Chris Kenny of Sky News and The Australian. Nick Cater, head of the Menzies Research Centre, former editor of The Weekend, Australian. Notice the common factor? And then there are the politicians. Former PM Tony Abbott, the National Party's maverick MP George Christensen, Senator and former IPA fellow James Patterson, and One Nation's New South Wales leader Mark Latham. They're entitled to their views, but again and again the IPA implies that they represent
mainstream Australians.
Mainstream Australians.
Mainstream opinions.
These people aren't mainstream. The mainstream thinks that the ABC is the most trustworthy source of news in Australia. If you don't want your ABC privatised, what can you do? Well, you could write to your federal MP and tell them so. Or you could join the ABC Friends. They helped to pay for this video. What I wouldn't do, if I were you, is listen to the IPA's podcast. 5 episodes, each 45 minutes long. Life is much, much too short.